and welcome to part 2 of Bioshock Infinite Burial at Sea episode 2, and we just saw gas.
Yeah, I was about to say, and that was the end.
No, we just got a new piece of ammunition here. If you remember from last time, a lot of crazy shit happened, so I'm not going to explain it. But now we actually have a nice little dart that's a little harder to find, but is awesome. It's a knockout gas grenade. And it also comes from a crossbow, making the crossbow even better. And now, because we don't use salts when we do that move, we're more badass than before. We just can't fight people directly, but otherwise. These three guys. There we go. I feel like Batman, sorta.
He dies. No excuse. Come on. Come on. Get out.
One of them's still okay.
Can I get a courtesy warning around here?
Come on, it's my birthday.
Hey, look, I know my stories are very boring, but that's kind of douchey.
You can pretend to die all you want. You're still coming to my birthday, Marky.
Who did this?
Being careful. I hear the dude right behind me. Ugh. Luckily, they never like going inside the buildings.
Old Man Winter.
Oh, time for a little rag.
No, it's just some of those old school commercials.
Oh.
Do you hate pants, but you were a slob? Call 1-800-SLOB.
Yeah?
Atlas sent me here for some Old Man Winter.
You haven't been around here long, have you?
What makes you say that?
'Cause you're the only one of us that don't smell like the reptile house at the zoo.
And therefore we can't trust you.
That's just a way to tell you that I smell like a reptile house at the zoo. I'm very ashamed.
Well, we'd let you in, but you don't fucking stink like we do.
So you can see there's a whole Atlas movement going on down here. It seems very similar to the Vox Populi, no?
Yeah.
But their color is yellow, and they use a big handprint as their emblem.
So Atlas asked me to figure out where to strike first when we bust out of this
And
place,
they're all
but,
white.
Really, John Travolta?
You know, it all depends on when we get out. You know, I mean, November
Or
5th,
Christopher Walken.
It's a big founding of Rapture.
Where's,
Fort Frolic. Valentine's
Fort
Day,
Frolic?
Arcadia's real popular.
We're gonna attack.
Maybe it's
Bam.
New Year's Eve, and hey, we could pop the corks off all the stuffed shirts down at the cashmere.
Use the hat rack as a maze. Okay.
Memo to the sales team.
For some reason, she sounds just like him.
Deny all customer claims regarding purported burns they have received.
So if you listen to the last one, despite the Christopher Walken thing, it mentioned when they actually did their attack was during New Year's Eve, which was even referenced on the original Bioshock. This is a really cool little Nickelodeon, I think. A little ahead of its time, methinks, but that's fine.
Taking the fontaines out of the water.
Why is he hiding in the darkness if we already know what he looks like?
It's the V for Vendetta rule. They don't like to follow people, they like to follow a symbol.
Rapture was supposed to be different. But the only
Teeth.
Faces.
It was supposed to be Rapture with 2 R's, but no, that was too advanced.
gallons of salt water.
And the way you spell it.
The only difference between Rapture and Rapture are the R's.
Is whether you're Spanish or not.
Message received.
Motherfucker!
And here's what the people of Rapture have to say to you.
I love that idea of, this is what I have to say to you! Throw a bottle at your head.
More than happy to come and take it.
I was kind of hoping, here's what we have to say to you. Come to Rapture. It's underwater and it's fantastic. Like it just turns into
For value!
it just turns into like a vacation video.
See, unlike Booker, last time I just kind of load up on this microwave gun ammunition. I really can't do that, or I really can't afford to do it.
I think the developers caught on how OP it was.
Come on, I'm kind of weak, so give me more. You'll occasionally find these notes by Sushong that have also been coded out.
Unsuccessful.
There's supposed to be 4 of them. I never found all 4. I found 3 of them. It's just more information, really. And I'm sure it's an achievement, whatever. Ooh, coffee. But it does mention a something called an ace in a hole, which will be more relevant later. I don't know why I completely avoid that lockpick, looking back. But whatever.
Why, man?
Things are getting hot down here real fast.
Company May?
The goddamn leprechaun is building himself a regular army. If you'd ask my
And if I
opinion,
followed the rainbow, oh shit.
I'd send a crew down here and clean
Oh,
up
thank
the
God I
place.
went back for it. I would have felt like an asshole if it didn't.
Good job,
Mine,
past
except
Travis.
some undercover schmuck you sent to give you straight
Fuck you,
dope.
future Trevs.
What are you wearing?
To this evening, shit.
Socks. Oh, that's so hot for 1958.
Just in case you forgot how this works.
Freeze your
You freeze your enemies,
shatter them into
you
a
break
thousand
them, and then you put them in your drink because they're delicious.
I thought he was gonna stab the puddle for a second.
Just
God, I hate when it's wet! So if you can tell, I don't have not nearly as big a gauge for my plasmid use, so using plasmids is not a very recommended thing, especially if you want to save it for Peeping Tom. This game is a lot harder without Peeping Tom. Now I'm preparing because I know this is a fighting area. First time I fought in this game this far, really.
Together, we'll remake the world!
And Splicers fucked up their little home base within 5 minutes of me showing up. You're gonna blame me, aren't they? I'm just gonna stay out of the way and have them kill each other.
You just like started approaching them, he just backed away.
I had my consideration, like, I'll go fight and they'll kill each other, whatever.
Should I help? Nah, that's stupid.
Alright, time to microwave some bitches. Wait a minute, you don't belong here! Pop! Oh shit, he's already
I
dead.
was gonna say, test your might.
Just another look-see.
See?
There! Sneaking music. Alright, now that we're out of there, we have all 3 parts to be able to repair this machine of bad juju.
Yeah, I hated that game.
Oh. Not that kind of juju. Now, there's this area blocked back here. We could have gone back here earlier, but it would have been useless without Old Man Winter. It's worth going back here now, though. Ooh, a noisemaker. At this point, it's good to collect some extra ammunition, because there's also a plasmid upgrade. But it's for Old Man Winter. Makes it a little bit better. I don't use Old Man Winter really at all. Except for when it's unless it's necessary.
Yeah.
So in this case, for repairing shit. This area gives you a lot of ammunition, which is more useful later, but you'll see when it happens.
How we won't immediately die of CO2 poisoning the moment we turn the thing on. Well,
Might die
not
from
the
all the,
perfect
electricity
hospital
flying everywhere, but we won't suffocate.
Well, now we're sterile like Comstock. Fuck. You might want to remove the crowbar. I don't remember that part.
Credits start rolling.
Okay, that should stop it from moving. There, everything's fixed.
Can't use it yet.
Let's fire it up and see.
Well, now that Booker Brains told me to do it, I can do it.
Explodes.
Booker and his bucket of bucket brains.
Looks like we're going back to Columbia. Hooray. This part's really cool, though, admittingly.
Think, motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
Croissant.
I like how the loading screen caught up with the fact that we're in Columbia now. The music and everything changed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's a skyhook again.
What's that wacky air grabber you got there? Son of a bitch.
We're on the First Lady.
Remember the First Lady? That's the airship we tried to escape on.
I don't think she'd appreciate that.
And obviously this is before Elizabeth came and changed into that dress.
It can't be this easy. The First Lady Mark II was built around a particle lift system, just like all the buildings in
This is a clever system.
I read all about it in the Columbian Scientific. The particles seated at the top of the structure. Must be up that lift.
This Latesse particle is really powerful and just lifts these things into the air. They don't use hydrogen gas like most blobs. They just get raised in the air and they control it with that giant arm up there.
Technology just a floating airship. Comstock never heard of hydrogen.
The First Lady Mark I did run on hydrogen, and it was destroyed by a single bullet from a Vox sniper. Unfortunately, the Prophet
Hydrogen's
wasn't
kind
on board.
of very reactive.
This was before the Hindenburg, wasn't it?
Yes.
If I take
I
the
believe
active
so.
particle, then the First Lady is just a 40.
Well, I guess we're gonna cause that this time.
Best to take the spare.
Well, nope, they had a spare sitting there.
Here we
Mine.
go. Now let's head back through that tank.
Float.
You honestly expect
Plus, if
that
we
much
sink,
domination
you know
to
what?
decide the deal?
We can't sink this thing because we never
We'll
did
cross
sink
that
this
bridge when
thing.
we come to it.
You get it?
How you plan on handling
I'll float on, all right.
You ain't
Yep.
some spliced up maniac.
He'll make a mistake.
All right, we're getting on Columbia
I just
now.
have to be ready to take advantage of it when it happens.
What a great visit.
Barely know.
How
We were
long
worried we
do
were gonna
you
stay here for
think
long.
to-
That's silly. Let's get out of here.
I don't need to answer that. I'm not Booker.
Pretty lady not finished yet.
God damn it, Su Chong.
Open the tear.
Power for device very expensive. Teach for that.
Just tell me what you want.
Such a wonder something is simple. Lock of hair.
Oh, you're not serious.
Not your hair, stupid. Think has a secret lab. Mothballed, forgotten. In there, hair sample. In jar. Cannot miss it. You get for suture. Then everybody friends.
Where's his lab?
Closed off, past Fink's quarters. You smart lady, you find.
Piss off.
So here's the ultimate irony. The hair she needs is mine. I could just clip and be like, got it, but no, we're gonna go through the process of getting it.
Vox Populi. We must have arrived right in the middle of the siege.
That means the other you and I are probably inside the factory. On our way up to the First Lady.
This is an interesting vigor.
Remember the old times? That was so funny.
So this particular vigor, if someone shoots you, you absorb their bullet and it goes into your weapons. It's a good way to keep yourself loaded with ammunition. It just takes a lot of
We won't.
goddamn
You know that.
vigor juice.
It's like an alternate version of Return to Sender.
But this one actually gives you more ammo, which works out better in this scenario.
Yeah.
Wasn't that one of the upgrades of Return to Sender?
I believe so. What's interesting in this particular scenario is, do you remember what happened when we first got here in Bioshock Infinite? This is the Vox Uprising, so this should be around the part when we were fighting Daisy Fitzroy and Oliver Vox were trying to kill us and everything like that.
So it's like timeline 3.
Basically.
I've taken your counsel. And
Oh,
you've done me good
speaking of which.
service,
No.
but I will not hurt the boy.
Oh.
I will see Fink and Comstock burn, but I will not hold the son to account for the deeds of his father.
You've
Hi, Daisy.
misunderstood us.
We neither asked you to harm the child.
Nor did we promise that yours would be the hand that would set Comstock's world afire.
A famous man once said,
And a famous man shall say,
I may reach the mountaintop.
but I fear I shall never visit the valley below.
But you mean I won't live to see the... No.
It's up to you what matters more,
Your part in the play.
or the play itself.
Someone is coming.
She'll arrive a girl.
She must leave. A woman.
And what makes the difference between a girl and a woman?
Murder!
Good.
Your part in the play.
Or the play itself?
Turn her into a killer? How?
Give the girl no choice.
And she will be forced to make one.
You can also consider an understudy.
So this completely changes what we think about Daisy Fitzroy. She was never going to kill the kid when we stabbed her. She was simply faking it so Elizabeth would kill her to follow what the Latesses were saying. The Latesses were manipulating all of us.
The fuck?
Yeah. Feel bad for stabbing her?
Smells nice. The fuck?
Watch at the end. Watch Comstock be a hero.
This part's interesting because they're acting like you need to shoot everybody, but Bob.
I'm from the future. That doesn't work anymore.
That he didn't hear it, so Bob.
Oh no, wait. This is the past.
Oh, my arm.
If you recognize this area, this is where we end up fighting all those dudes.
Yeah.
You can recognize, yeah.
And the handyman.
Where I actually got that handyman achievement on accident. What do I do here? Bop. Now, I'm feeling way too confident in my bopping abilities, so I look down there and like, shit, how can I bop these men?
Bop him, Elizabeth.
Long live fantastic asses.
Punch him with your air grabber. Bop. Oh, it didn't work. But bop. Nope. It did work.
Get the fuck out of
here. I wanted to post like those people in the future. There's someone else coming though. What's going on over there? Oh, shit. So right now I got a shield up with that particular ability. It's not amazing. It does disappear sort of quick. What is he doing?
Doing a little jig.
Hello, my honey.
Yeah.
Hello, hello.
So I've had to join him. Where the hell is that coming from? Screw it. We're going backwards. We're going backwards. And of course they don't notice anything.
I love that they're all just conveniently.
Fifth time a bop.
Elizabeth's getting bored of this.
No wonder the Vox lost. They're idiots. Oh, whoa, shit. So this is what makes fighting hand-to-hand combat tough. Because he's doing a lot of damage right now. And he's dead. You can die pretty quick in this. So.
Yeah, there's a war coming. You can smell it in the air. Fear.
The fat bears and the little children wolves and the firecrackers and the... I can't think of a euphemism for this.
I still wonder if DeWitt survived the fall. I mean, I did push him.
The water crackers, and the grass crackers, and
baby sloths. I decided she just keeps on talking, whatever.
Wait, I'm not done.
This is a cool little area. This is Fink's main office. It's a giant clock.
Oh yeah, is this one building we couldn't get into?
Yeah, we couldn't get in here. So look at it now. Look at it now.
That's pretty.
So this office is a particular mechanism that the clock will point to certain doors, and the doors will open. So, depending on the time of day, certain offices are open to either sleep, work, or study, whatever it might be.
Looks like the mechanism unlocks certain activities when Fink gives his blessing.
So we need to get some kind of tool to be able to control how that works.
Ah, so it's prayer o'clock.
No, there's a slot for some kind of key.
It's now 80 Jesus.
We just gotta find that.
What if it's 8:03 Jesus?
Well, it's 1/2 sleep.
Yo, if there's one thing Fink loves...
There's not much sleep on that clock. There's a lot of work. And because Fink loves working, he has a lot of extra work time. This is his little sleeping place right here, which would be hard to sleep with all those lights, but whatever. Apple. Oh, look, it lets us box vote for some reason.
Being, or lack thereof, has left my brother unfulfilled. The biological urge to leave one's mark is strong, and it is not an impossibility. We could instantiate ourselves back in Columbia, return to an old life for the possibility of creating new. But we died in that world. Returning would mean giving up part of us, ourselves. We'd become flesh and all that it is heir to. The mysteries of the universe would become once again mysteries.
So they're talking about that particular rule of if you go back to a world in which you died and tried to become part of it, you lose your ability. And they're aware of it. But the male Latus actually wants to do that. The woman's a little bit more unconvinced. She wants to still be sciencey. I love the mechanics of this particular room. So the prayer room. Filled with alcohol.
Elizabeth, no!
I'm a lightweight.
We can tell. Don't drink more, Elizabeth.
Who wants to party?
You're
with
worse than Bunker.
Elizabeth.
Look, I only got this drunk from 5 absinthe.
Full bottles. I had the bottle.
When I get to Paris, bloopers everywhere.
What this room makes super apparent is that Fink is a major atheist. He has his prayer room, but basically everything's written it's like, just pretend you're religious so you can make some money, and I don't believe in this religious bullshit. That's why there's a lot of alcohol down here. And he has a knife through Comstock's book. So if that's any indication, how we believe profit for profit. So Fink is a bastard, really, because he's just like, I'm going to pretend to follow your system so I can control everyone.
He would do well in Rapture.
He would. He really would. That's why he probably got along with Sushong so well. So now we got to turn again to go to the next office here. And a room of more insight, the leisure room.
There's fuck all in here.
Here's a chair. Go crazy.
Sea slugs. Goddamn sea slugs. Could that Oriental have come up with a more inconvenient fuel for his plasmids? If there is a god.
So remember we were curious of how Columbia got the ability to have vigors? It was because of the tear. Fink and Sushong were actually speaking to each other through the tears and providing each other information. Sushong provided the information to Columbia about these things called plasmids, which then became vigors. The way that was created differently, though, is a drinking one that actually took 10 times more sea slugs to make.
I pretend to understand the mysteries of the infinite no more than you, Comstock, or anyone else for that matter. But for the sake of argument, let's say this is all one unhappy accident, and we all alone in our toils.
Well, get the shit beaten out of us by Moses.
Control and shame us.
This is actually pretty insightful.
Apply only to those without a penny in their pocket. If there were no God, you could rest assured the first deed done by the first rich man would be inventing him.
The fuck?
You don't know that painting? Those are all pretty famous.
I haven't seen any of those paintings.
William Shakespeare dying? Is that what it was?
But a lot of that's pretty famous art.
But yeah, I liked that Nickelodeon. Not too far from now, I see the world.
All right, now this is the direction we need to go, the workroom, which is much larger. Of course, because he loves work.
Elevator o'clock.
All right, time to head down to this lab that's been abandoned. I think this part's pretty sad.
Listen, I got you your gun. I'm here for my
Ooh.
Yeah, I remember this.
And you recall you don't turn around in this point.
You can't, because you're in a cinema controlled part, so you can't. Gives you an insight that knows that Daisy did all that for them.
I miss you. You were the only one who ever... You were my only friend. Booker.
I'm not even here.
I'm right here.
I'm a projection of your own.
He falls down the shaft. I'm here!
Hi, Elizabeth.
I think Booker would miss you.
The sad thing about the relationship between Booker and Elizabeth, it's very father-daughter. Elizabeth loves Booker. I mean, obviously not in a romantic or sexual way, because they're family, but it's just more of, you're the only person who's ever really cared for me, which is true. Mm. And she doesn't even have that, so she's feeling particularly alone right now. This is the first time in these segmented games where you felt this alone, which makes this particular game probably darker than any of the other games I've played in this series.
That guy to the right, I literally did not see him.
Now, I was gonna not waste your time watching me trank all those dudes.
You wanna know what I was honestly expecting? I was kind of hoping that Booker would play the role of Elizabeth, and so he would be the one hiding and throwing stuff at Elizabeth.
I have to have pair powers now for some reason.
It's like, Elizabeth catch throws it so hard that he misses.
This room is full of dudes.
Yeah, the bit you drilled out of me, it ended up in another dimension. So here I am.
I have a tear in my chest.
But he's not good at, like, curving or throwing like Elizabeth is, so he just misses her all the time.
Things just fall out of his chest.
Let me send you some salts, just launches out into space.
You can get that, right? You can make a space tear.
As upset you are for that, you have to admit it's pretty awesome I have a chest cannon, but...
Red Hot King!
Elizabeth, catch me! Flies off the ship.
Into space.
Catch the salt, Elizabeth shoots out a Wolverine. I don't have the best control of this.
I'm not good at throwing, Elizabeth. But on the bright side, our baseball team is called the Wolverines now.
Just start standing behind him. Hey, Elizabeth. Now you're mad, but... Just imagine it for a moment. Now, a lot of these guys are armored, so just that much...
Oh, for a second, like, I thought he was the Tin Man. Like, what the hell is he gonna...
If I only had a... So I'm full of shotgun ammunition. Great, because I'd never use it. Now, this side-off area right here is a handyman area. I cut that out because it's really long. But it's worth exploring. There's a lot of nice goodies in there. This is me heading out from it. It's not really story relevant, but it's still kind of cool to look around to understand how handymen work.
If you want to see every little thing in this game, just buy it yourself.
Yeah.
A killer.
This shit's already an hour and a half.
Exactly. That's me clipping shit out, so... Everything that's not story relevant.
I'm not Booker.
And neither am I.
I'm the Lord of the Dance.
So I'm thinking some people are going to attack in this room, so it might be worth taking control of this dude. So guard me in that room, no problem. This whole area is locked down via quarantine, so we gotta be a little bit more imaginative to be able to get to the side, but luckily, we are imaginative. We're Elizabeth, damn it.
We,
motherfucker, we.
And whoosh.
Here's a whoosh. See, it's still an air grabber.
You're right.
Slam.
Smacks into a wall. Some things just don't change.
Her nose starts bleeding. I'm cool again.
So hey, they sent the information to the Big Daddies to Fink, and Fink was actually working on designing Big Daddies. Interesting. I believe that's old concept art too.
I'm liking that it's now Bioshock. Now why I understand why it's called Bioshock Infinite.
Yep.
Because there's only 2 worlds.
It all makes a kind of sense. The little sisters and the big daddies. Songbird and me.
Constants and variables.
Fitzroy and Slade. By the way, let me tell you about the name thing.
There's a bunch of animal cages in here. There's been some wacky tests done in this lab. Fink is not a good man, so, I mean... I'm just assuming people are going to be in here, so load up. On that thought process, I'm pretty much wrong, but whatever.
I have you now in pretending studies.
So here's a gorilla strapped to a camera. And it's dead.
Don't pull the...
It's dead already, it's not...
Oh, I thought I was gonna electrocute it.
Imprinting. That's a wire mother. If you separate a gorilla from its real mother, it will imprint on almost anything. Even that.
Why would Fink care about that?
Songbird. He wanted him to imprint on me.
Well, if I recall...
He ended up falling on me. Similar, but not the same.
Trying to tickle me.
And he also threw you around a lot.
I just caught myself with a tear. So, you know, you have to think in this particular age, there's not really any way to, like, genetically code them to follow you, so they're imprinting on them almost like a dog. That's why Songbird was kind of animalistic. Speaking of dogs, that poor fucking dog in there. I don't get this test at all. Hey dog, how about some cigarettes? It's like, seriously, I'm like, what is the point of that?
He must have saw the painting with the dogs playing poker, and he's like, yeah, we can recreate that. It'll be so cool.
Imagine Fink getting frustrated just with his dog sitting up there, like, gluing the cards to his hands. You must learn. Ew.
Poor things. Fink couldn't get them to imprint, so I left them to die.
Fink that motherfucker. Also, you know what's great about that, the Peeping Tom ability is that it also shows you ammunition sitting around, which can be sometimes hard to find otherwise. It's just a great... I wish I had this in the other game, too. I would have been overpowered as shit, but...
It confuses me a little bit, because it highlights it in blue, and I keep thinking you're gonna find salt.
Surely they formed a connection between Songbird and...
So apparently Fink failed at imprinting Songbird to Elizabeth.
I always remember him just...
But he's imprinted to us, so... Interesting.
No. Not more home movies, Daddy.
These home movies are kind of creepy. Also, look at this picture. They're just like the Big Daddies. They're humans genetically modified to put in these. Like brains or something.
And here I am at the Bahamas.
We're trying to get a reaction out of him. And obviously it's working, but...
I tried hypnotherapy.
Now lay down on the bed.
About as well as
Mr. Songbird, I'm gonna put acupuncture in you.
They tied him up there.
They tied someone up there, that's for sure. God, I wish I had a flashlight. Just a shotgun blast. There we go. This is how we find out how Songbird got imprinted onto us.
I love to just lay it out. Songbird is imprinting.
Booker.
I'm gonna tickle you. I'm gonna tickle you.
Little Elizabeth, what are you doing?
My God. Oh, I remember he was... He had crashed into the tower. I guess he was in some sort of fight. I waited there thinking I don't know, that something would happen, but he just lay there, moaning. I couldn't just...
The line with the thorn
Squish.
Don't put yourself in...
So basically the line in the thorn in the paw for the line principle, where it's just a weaker thing helped this stronger thing, and that's how it imprinted. Just something as simple as that.
Exploiting me, Comstock, you, Sally. It's like a wheel of blood spinning round and round.
Which makes a great metal album.
Or game show.
It's just a horrible merry-go-round.
So there's a lock of my hair.
Well, this must be the genetic sample Suchong wanted.
He sent you all the way back here for a sample of your own hair.
He doesn't know I was once the child that imprinted on Songbird.
I wish at this point she goes, slaps her forehead. Oh, I'm stupid.
Men like Suchong mistake an ounce of
But she has a skyhook, so she accidentally knocked herself out.
Oh, God. Alright, so now that we got what we wanted and we learned how imprinting really works, let's get the hell out of here. No reason to stay in Columbia. And shit, Vox people.
I called this place the Impretending Room because I saw the fucking title for like a second.
So this area, just go about it quick. Don't worry about slowing down, because the slower you do this, the most likely you're going to get caught and die. So just find ways to bullshit this.
Do I? No. Do I? No.
I'm gonna be the stairs.
Oh shit, glass. Fuck, 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 fuck. They heard that for sure.
Okay, but they didn't see you jumping off the thing like a cat.
Oh shit. Oh, got him. Right in the dick.
Damn, Elizabeth.
Alright.
You should just become an assassin.
Oh, they blew up my turret. That was pointless. This reminds me a lot of Dishonored. You had a very similar crossbow tranquilizer gun. And you can control rats.
And my nails are still pretty.
It has occurred to me that this breakthrough regarding the Songbird
Shut up, Frank.
casts my
Don't interrupt me.
with the Oriental Doctor in a new light. What more could be gained by this continued partnership? What secrets that I could not answer for myself? Su Chong can only offer table scraps, and Jeremiah Fink has richer meat in mind.
So after discovering how to imprint, I guess he assumed, well, I got everything I wanted, so see ya, fucker.
You know, with the gas coming off of that dart, I just imagine at some point you just randomly pass out.
I just run into their victory. So now we're having to go back all the way we came. So back into that big room and all that nonsense. But I'm going to cheese it.
As you should.
What you got there?
By cutting it out.
We'll never know.
I made it. Honestly, it's just avoiding everyone, going around corners, hopping on rooftops, things like that. You're basically Batman. Come on, Peggy. Oh, see ya. See ya, Peggy. By this point, Daisy Fitzroy's probably dead.
Even have a choice.
What do you mean?
Right about now, I'm planting a pair of scissors in her back to protect a child she was never going to harm. She chose to die for her revolution. What about me? For all the endless worlds, all the infinite possibilities. Did I ever even have a choice? Did you?
Yeah.
All this is just making me realize I want some nail polish.
Look where it got us.
I want some peeping Tom power. I'm invisible, you.
All these infinite
Wait, load.
All right.
All these
universes.
infinite
Yet we end up just going down the same paths.
Constants and variables.
My father sold me to settle a marker. Comstock locked me up in a tower. And I sold Sally for what? Revenge? To prove a point?
And yet, here you are, settling the debt.
And say we
Everything's
find her.
it's circle continuing, but it's continuing through me.
Isn't it too late for her now?
Well, I'd say that's up to her to decide. Justice coming back here was up to you.
Rapture runs on children. Little girls with gold growing in their bellies.
That's Adam. It's sarcasm.
I'm not gonna break any cycle. If I'm lucky.
Sarcasm growing in their bellies.
I like this where I'm trying to be all dramatic. Maybe I can dent it somehow. And set off the alarm!
Oh, Elizabeth.
Ah, no one's in there, whatever. Take your moments to collect things up. Also, this kind of runs into a little bit of a plot hole. The fact that Silver Eagles work in Rapture.
Yeah, I was about to say, wasn't it just regular money in Bioshock?
It was actually a form of paper money. And look, we see all the leftover bodies from Booker.
Booker did it.
There's dead Jeremiah Fink. You remember he got shot.
I'm assuming the explanation is they just retconned it so that there was always Silver Eagles.
Pretty much. If you look in Rapture, everything is Silver Eagles there too.
I can't loot that body.
And look, there is me and Booker leaving.
Pretty lady has the hair.
Pretty lady has no care.
Bring it to Suchong.
Pretty lady afraid of bear?
Open the stupid tear.
Go away.
So we missed a little point that Elizabeth brought up, which I always thought was interesting when the brain Booker said, "Are you afraid you're gonna run into Booker and Elizabeth in this world?" And she's like, "No, because we never did." Which is interesting because yeah, in a time retrospect, they never did run into each other. You can't change time.
Can't even go and give yourself a high five or nothing.
Unless you remember yourself giving yourself a high five, it never happened. Now this is a good point of having a lot of health kits coming up.
What's going on out there?
Bloodshed, violence, but not relevant to our arrangement.
Alright, Sushong. There you go. Jerk.
Suchong. Suchong! Suchong, we had a deal. Now open.
Wait. There we go.
Do you know what they call someone who enters a man's home?
I don't think so, motherfucker.
Uninvited.
This is exactly the speech he gave to your main character in the original Bioshock.
I do not remember inviting you into my city.
I had a deal with Suchong.
Li Suchong is my employee. It was not a deal he was authorized to make.
What do you want?
I granted Atlas and his thugs asylum. You serve those same men in a desire to escape from my generosity. If they shall not have asylum,
I think Andrew Ryan's such an amazing character.
liquidation. You're a parasite, an ounce of charity. You'll demand a pound.
And he's not a character that poses any kind of physical immediate threat, but he's just so
I don't
interesting.
claim to understand what you are, but I know that you are special. There is business we can do together. And so I give you a choice. Work for me, or die with Atlas.
I'm not going anywhere without that girl.
If it's a little sister you want, that shouldn't stand in the way of commerce. I've got dozens of them.
I won't leave without her.
In this office alone.
Stand ready to take down the door.
I'll have you know that I eat dreams and I turn them into success.
To be fair, Sally looks like the rest of them. She's just blonde. I can dye one of their hairs. I mean,
Thief in the night.
so this part's interesting, giving us a little bit of a timetable, 60 seconds to collect our wits, set up traps because this room's gonna be invaded by dudes, and we have to fight them. And considering we can't really fight, this part's kind of scary.
I gotta find somewhere to hide and surprise them. Take them down one by one.
A chain smoking those cigarettes.
Okay, I'm done with the pack.
40 seconds. You know what I see on your face?
Nothing. My hat's in the way.
Who is this girl?
Because this is not actually a video, it's a picture.
30 seconds. Do you know the value of the shark? Without them,
Andrew, are you okay?
he would be littered with the detritus of the weak.
Do you know the price of the centipede?
20 seconds. I knew the Muffin Man. I knew him very well.
10 seconds. Do you know how hard it is to do a backflip?
20 seconds. I will tell you something you already sense.
Smell.
Atlas does not honor agreements. Andrew Ryan does. I cannot save your Sally, but I can save you.
I love how the music plays in this part. Like, oh, good. Best thing to do, get in a corner. Don't let anyone flank you.
You're not even a parasite.
The first enemy will kill you quick.
Room. And Andrew Ryan has no time for rooms.
Just wait it. Just wait it out. Don't go look for them. Mainly because of the enemy type. You can hear them.
Yeah, they'll find you.
There he is. Ice him, and then shoot him. There's no other way to kill them properly. So if you're out of Eve, you're going to be in trouble at this point. First time I played this, I only had like one health kit, and I had like no Eve. So this part was incredibly tough.
Wait for me!
They kind of circulate in a certain manner. First, you end up getting a teleporting dude, then two more of these dudes, and then I believe another couple dudes and another teleporting dude shows up, and they kind of go in a line. Oh, here comes some more guys. Oh, I heard something. Oh. I thought I saw some.
Yeah, totally.
Damn it, he proved me wrong.
Had any principles, you wouldn't be skulking around.
Why did he think that? But no. See if I can bop this dude. Ah, shit. No, you don't. No, you don't. Ah, shit. I messed up. See, if you hit him, it doesn't kill him. Now I gotta shoot him. I believe another teleporting dude should be showing up here soon.
I think I heard several gunshots, but I'm not too sure.
Yep, another teleporting dude. You have to hit him with Old Man Winter to be able to fight him properly. They're very tough otherwise. And they use fire, and that will kill you quick. You do not want to mess with those guys. I got a little bit of radar, but fuck it. I just don't have much ammunition, period. Elizabeth can't carry much. She doesn't have many pockets. Ah, shit. Ah, shit.
Yeah, make that drawer cold so nobody can enter it ever again.
I keep my drinks in there. Just watch how long it takes to kill this guy. And this is a guy with a bat.
Yeah.
And I'm almost dead from one hit. And I'm almost dead again.
Wow.
And he's still alive.
Come on, Elizabeth. Do something.
And you're very steady and deliberate with relocking that hammer.
So I want to keep this in perspective for you. I'm fighting this guy with the bat, and it took every bullet of my revolver, 4 health kits, to kill one guy with a bat. That's why you don't want to fight anyone head on.
Sharks, Ryan. The better man won. Isn't that the only thing you respect? Now let me the hell out of here.
But I actually thoroughly enjoy this being weaker than everybody, because it leads you to have to think about what you do next.
I can't just place the particle on the ceiling.
But
Just tear
at
right
this
through
point, even before we managed to raise this city, Andrew Ryan just sent a bunch of these dudes to try to kill all of Atlas's goons. Which doesn't necessarily hurt me at all.
its load-bearing supports.
That's fascinating and all, but if you haven't noticed, Ryan sent his goons to murder us. If you're gonna pull a rabbit out of a hat, now's the time to do it.
Looks like the structural junction is in Frank Fontaine's office. If I can get there, I can float the building.
It so happens I've taken that bastard's office for my own use.
How'd you know where his office is? Oh, you know.
Tears?
This is a call to all my
homies and Johns.
He doesn't even finish that sentence.
So there's a bunch of dudes just dancing over there. You gotta gas them to be able to make it through there.
Truffle shuffle.
You put the boom boom into my heart. Ooh. See, there's just more dudes, so. There's just my ooh, mouse. Luckily, getting in that room didn't get much trouble. Speaking of another room where you'll probably die a lot early in the game. This is a Fontaine's little bar restaurant thing.
Stupid jerk. Should have never stuck his neck out.
Frank Fontaine.
Who had a really freaky face in the original Bioshock because the character models were absolute garbage.
And so was his voice actor for whatever reason.
Flavor Snow is now on my... God damn it. I managed to get a couple other health kits on the way there, so necessarily wouldn't be impossible. There's some dudes in here.
That wasn't the brunette.
I said, have you seen her?
Say it faster. So there are a couple ways to go about this. I'm going to be going off this left passage, which requires a lot of lockpicks, but there's something I want to show you on the right side, which might not be worth it in a game playing thing, but I'm going to do it anyway. This is where I'm going right now. Problem is a lot of people in this room, a lot of teleporting dudes, water, which people can hear. The only reason I'm going in here is, well, 2 reasons. One is because of this Nickelodeon.
Losing it. Losing it.
But are you still standing?
Are we?
The world's first video effect.
Is what that says. Thank you for learning English with Sander Cohen.
Cohen, stop trying to be artsy about everything. Boo?
Well, that was weird.
Thank you.
I'd say ya. Oh.
Hey, man, what up?
Bunnies! Undead people.
It's a mannequin. It just teleported behind you when you watch that boxophone.
Hey, he's got a mask on it. If we take it, then we can get into the club.
Hi, this creepy Sanders.
What's going
I'm not Colonel Sanders. What? Another reason I go in this room. Look at this poster.
Elizabeth, this poster. What's this all about?
Why am I doing this?
Also, a third reason, there is pretty much the last vending machine you get into in this game. This is a good area to stock up on some lockpicks and anything else you really need. Especially lockpicks. Because the area we're about to go through needs 4 of them.
I can be done with it.
Comstock had to know why. He had to know that he deserved it.
Water sucks because just stepping in water, people could be like 100 feet away and be like, what's that? So the way we're trying to go is actually over here on the left side because there's this locked door. There's multiple ways. There's a way of going upstairs fighting through dudes, which, as you've seen us fighting that bat dude, is very difficult. So we're going to go through this small room anyway, which requires a lot of lockpicks, but it's a lot safer of a route. Here's an interesting thing. You know how that one room was... It's showing us again. You know how that one room at the very beginning that had Peeping Tom was kind of off to the side and wasn't led to immediately?
Mm-hmm.
It's because that's not part of the story. You don't necessarily get Peeping Tom at that point. You would be getting it at this point. Imagine how hard the game would be if you didn't get it until now. And you get the upgrade you already have. So at this point, that almost feels like a joke, where it's just like, this is for the idiots who didn't go this far. This is what you could have gotten. It does help during this part, admittedly. It helps during the entire game, mention. Yeah, if you notice, the yellow people are the ones that are kind of on a caution. They kind of know where they're on suspicious-isness. And then the red ones are the ones that are in fighting mode. White ones don't know where you are. So some more lockpicks. Just don't set off an alarm, please.
Disappear the girl and Atlas's crew.
Yeah. This is kind of going the back way.
Noisemaker required!
I can't drink that. Now, if you run out here all excited, like, man, I totally fooled them, you'd be wrong, because there's guys right there. So time turn invisible. Just walk right by them. Ah, shit. Never mind. Dude, oh, wait, I will. There we go. I don't mess with there's a teleporting dude up here, so I'm just like, fuck it.
They start shooting the elevator.
The elevator open. I hate ghosts.
I miss Ghost Gun.
And all the fighting in the game is over.
Really?
That's it. Rest of it's going to be story related.
I sent myself
Hang on, I've got a question.
Yeah?
The mod you just picked up, I thought you didn't have the ability to save your salts or whatever when you're not moving while invisible. I thought the first mod you got just made you didn't lose salts for the regular Peeping Tom.
Well, that's what it meant.
I know so little of you, but I imagine the more I learned, the more exceptional I would find you. You know Atlas will betray you.
And what are you? My best friend?
You're one of a kind in this world, or others. And now, your misguided sense of
millisecond and a half. I had a rap battle with Santa Claus.
I had a rap battle with a chicken wrap.
In a house fire.
So the interesting thing about this, if you didn't notice, is that Andrew Ryan called you Miss Comstock. So he's actually aware of Columbia through the entire game of Bioshock.
0.75 seconds. These macaroons are bullshit.
God damn it, Andrew. What don't you know?
Now I'm just imagining Andrew Ryan looking at Jacob through a tear.
This is the most entertaining man in the world.
What are these wacky facts we mean? They don't seem too wacky to me.
And the whole structure should rise.
Alright, so this is the top of Fontaine's tower. It's also the top structure for this entire building. So we're going to put the little particle here, and this should float the city. This is how this particular particle works. We turn it on, and holy fuck balls. Now, do you remember this scene?
Oh.
It's working.
We saw the future, remember? It was a fragment. We've seen everything that happens at this part. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
Huh?
Did your mom ever teach you not to put your faith in strange foreign men?
Give me the...
Hello there, man from LA Noir.
She made some...
You've got that right. The girl means nothing. But you, love, you mean the world.
Oh, it's stinky.
Now you smell like a reptile, like us. Welcome to the club.
So he betrayed us, to be expected. Big question is, we knew he was going to betray us, so why did we go there? I mean, think about it. Elizabeth, before she went to Rapture, has seen the future where she goes to Rapture and knows what happens when she goes to Rapture, so why would she do it?
The Kashmir's all on the hill.
Also, we have a sack on our head.
Know we were back before. I'm sure now he's got the message. What do you want with this? If
A nice Chianti.
It's her. Let's find out what she knows. But no quackery. She's no good to us.
Sorry.
With a halo and a set of wings.
Oh god, we're gonna be tortured now, aren't we? Apparently Atlas wants us for some reason. Despite us having no powers. Oh god, natural light. Ugh.
Where's the ace in the hole?
Oh yeah, ace in the hole.
What?
Where's the ace in the hole?
I don't know what you're talking about. Look, we had a deal.
Where is the ace in the hole?
I told you.
Sodium salpental. Are you familiar? No. Truth serum. Unpredictable stuff. Too little, nothing.
I have
Too
nothing
much.
to tell
The
you.
subject
I don't
is
even know what an ace in the hole is.
It's a cod.
It's in Paris.
If it is a card, and Fink tested all those dogs because he wanted to match the painting, these guys really like fucking poker.
Not childhood. There's a
No
profit
animatronics.
and men who make it.
Five Nights at Elizabeth's. I'm so bored.
I just lost that staring contest by blinking.
But so did you, Elizabeth.
My closet seems to hate it. Oh god, I'm so sorry.
Folks say it's only a matter of time until Atlas's entire mob comes out waving.
It was the announcer the whole time.
Fair warning, folks, this scene is rough.
Yeah.
You've been down 2 weeks, love. Feckin' doctors. Better
If you're squeamish, you might want to fast forward through this part.
What did you expect me to
I'll
win
put
a
an
war for you
annotation right here.
Tend to your own knitting if I were you. Now, darling, being that you were Su Chong's lab assistant and all,
See, we made a problem. We said we were the lab assistants, so he seems to think we know where this ace in the hole that Sushong has. And we don't, because fuck it, we're not Sushong's lab assistant.
fascinating. I keep up on all the medical journals and the like.
I hope you have someone to help you with all the big words.
You know what part of the brain free will comes from? Stubbornness? The prefrontal lobe. Now, I think it's fair to say you're a bit of a stubborn one, are you not? A man named Steinman taught me this. He's a bit of a lunatic.
Steinman was in the original Bioshock. He was an asshole.
He calls this little trick a transorbital lobotomy.
Accidentally stabbed himself.
Take hold of her, lads.
Transorbital.
Time.
If you want
I do it to myself.
I can't be held responsible for what comes next.
I'm joking, but the scene makes me very uncomfortable.
Here we go. You feel that? I'm moving the pick across your eyeball.
True fact, they actually used to do this back then.
And resting it on your skull.
Now, is this going into her eye?
It's going around her eyeball.
Through the...
So through her eye socket.
And that's where this little...
This is when it gets uncomfortable.
I don't...
It was just a wee tap. But I don't expect it'll take more than a few of those to reach the meat. And then we might find you.
Thank God they stopped doing this. I think. Who knows? Someone might be doing this still.
I don't know. All right.
Well done, Ken Levine. You've given a bunch more psychos and murderers new things to do.
Individuality. Personality. In short, what makes you, you. I'm just about through now. Last chance, pet. Where is the ace in the hole?
Or what? What, you'll put a hole in my head and take away my memories? You want to make me forget all this? You want to make me not care anymore? Go ahead.
Cold as ice.
You'll be doing me a favor.
Ow.
Ooh.
Fuck.
Atlas is a prick.
Hero, ain't you? Can't risk ripping the only part of you that's worth the damn.
I feel like his accent's breaking at this scene. Because he's angry.
Fry an egg. Now, little one, are you familiar with the term transorbital lobotomy?
Please let her
It's
go.
a simple matter. All I need to do is insert this pick into
Please,
your eye.
please, I don't know
And give you
anything.
A few taps with me.
I don't know anything.
To show by example.
Please, please don't. I don't know anything. I don't know.
I think this is the best Elizabeth acting she's done through the whole series. This whole scene.
It's okay. It's okay. Listen, it's okay.
I can't tell him what I don't know. Where are we?
You saw all the doors. And what's behind all the doors?
The ace in the hole.
I'm gonna leave this arm wrapped. Just to make things interesting. Now come on.
I don't remember this.
Dragging the chair behind you.
Been here.
And how would it?
The memories you lost, they weren't just of the past.
So we have the memories, we just don't remember them.
Even the ones into the future. This is where I'm going.
If you want.
To a piano. You're gonna be a
I
star.
like it here.
It's a bad place.
He's never gonna
Elizabeth,
let me go, is
one more
he?
time for me. Come on.
Even if I
Wait.
bring him the ace, then why am I here? How if I was so smart? If I saw so much, why just send myself to the slaughter?
For Sally.
No, one day he will just rip her open and tear out her atom. All of this for nothing. Why did I do it? Why?
You have to decide.
Decide what?
To take a leap of faith. I can't tell you what you were thinking because you don't remember.
But I can still show you this even though you don't remember it.
It's a fragment of memory.
The ace. I don't know what to do, Booker. Booker?
Sucker!
Booker! No, please. Please just don't leave me here! Booker!
I'm right behind you, jeez.
In retrospect, this part's actually kind of sad because this is the last time you'll see Booker ever. Despite him not being real, that was the only real feeling that you got from having Booker DeWitt.
Mr. Chong's clinic.
And we remembered.
Mr. Chong's clinic.
That's a bit convenient now. Ryan's got every turret in the place tuned to me and me men's genetic code. We'd be torn to shreds before we got 10 feet.
That's
How
right.
convenient.
Which is why I'm gonna do it for you. You okay with that?
Get me the ace. I'll wrap the brat in a silk ribbon. Bag her and bring her to my bathysphere.
And just punch her one more time for the hell of it.
You know, I always wondered and stuff like that. What if, like, when they do that threatening punch, like, what if you accidentally kill them in that?
Well, it didn't happen. But I don't know.
Because they always do that, like, fade, transition, punch. It's like, oh shit, now we just ruined our plans. Credits roll.
Shake a leg now. The Lord hates a laggard.
Alright, we're heading towards the clinic. Let's do this.
Which is why he hung out with prostitutes and lepers and all of those sad people that Christians don't like to talk about.
Ooh.
If I may get on my soapbox.
Hear that whistling? That's the song from the first Bioshock.
Which is probably why they put it in the captions. It's like, remember this?
What's interesting about this part feels very familiar to people who played Bioshock 2.
What the hell were you thinking?
Because this part was pretty much in the game, this room.
Burning through 10 times the amount of atom injectables. And if you fail to notice, them sea slugs ain't exactly growing on trees.
So that's original Frank Fontaine.
To the injectables, and let the eggheads in marketing worry about selling it to the chumps.
Remember, Sushong used to actually work for Fontaine before he worked for Ryan. Sushong was pretty much an acquisition from Fontaine. Sushong was designing things like the Big Daddies and Tenenbaum was when he designed the Little Sisters, but they were kind of involved in the process together. Oh hey, a bloody drill. You see a lot of these in the original Bioshock, which is interesting. And it looks like Sushong is also having problems with imprinting, just like Fink did. This song's kind of creepy in this place.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you could do a little dance while you're here.
So if you remember, Fink separated his relationship from Sushong, so Sushong never learned how to imprint. So he's having problem imprinting the Little Sisters of the Big Daddies. I'm just reading about that because that's a reference to the first game.
The Vita Chamber was where you revived, right?
Yeah. But it was only set to Andrew Ryan's genetic code. That's why it was so important to have that clone there. There's a Big Daddy in some rough shape. Try to move him with our little hands.
Let's see here what we could do.
Scary. Stay away from him. He's scary.
Look, it's
Kind of cute in its own little way.
he can't hurt anyone.
I just want to hug you with my drill.
They did give it kind of a big teddy bear body type.
I think they made teddy bears out of them, didn't they?
Yeah.
Can you just move a little bit for me? Don't.
You're capable of human speech, right?
You. I don't.
You have ears on
No,
that giant dome.
He's just hurt. He just needs somebody to figure out how to fix him. Maybe there's some. I don't know. Is there some documentation for him around here or something?
We're capable of rational thought.
Look who I'm asking.
Don't insult me. So we gotta find a way to help the Big Daddy here. You played the original Bioshock, you know how. There's some notes around here that'll give us our major clues we need. They're glowing like radiation notes.
Encoded. Big Daddy.
I was kind of hoping like she could understand it, but then she played connected dots. It would make perfect sense.
It's a giraffe. I knew it.
And you just have to say giraffe 3 times to the Big Daddy, and he'll reactivate.
Do not say hippo. He becomes murderous.
That's why the drill is bloody.
When I was bored in class, I would always make my own little connect the dots things, just random dots. It always looked like absolutely fucking nothing, or a big fish with a spiral mouth.
You dreamed of big swirly fish. Which could be an interesting song name.
Or a band.
Yep.
If stupid
While we're
beasts
adding to
had
that list.
brain, they would realize they need little sister to live. Sisters secrete only kind of atom that is genetic match for them.
That's right. The relationship between the Little Sisters and Big Daddies is symbiotic. Because the Big Daddies protect the Little Sisters, but the Little Sisters contain the atom that keeps the Big Daddies alive. They need each other.
I've got to do something.
Actually, you little girls had to do something.
It's okay. It's okay. Please. I don't know how to help him. He needs Adam. I don't have any of that. I don't know what to do.
We can help.
Are they wearing masks, or are their faces just that pale?
I believe they're wearing masks.
Yeah.
Their eyes are cut out, but they're wearing masks.
They looked a bit more mutated in the original.
But I imagine that's because time's progressed.
Yeah.
And also the character design in the original game had at least some room to be desired. can't even imagine how heavy a Big Daddy would be.
False.
Right on top of one of them. Well, I have one left. So if you wanted a good reflection to Bioshock Infinite, that's what Elizabeth did with the big bird.
Songbird.
So before we go on the main path, you want to go off this way first. Tell me if you remember this recording.
Is that your puppy? She's very pretty.
Thank you, Papa Sushon.
Break her neck for me. What? Break that sweet puppy's neck. No, please.
This recording was in the original Bioshock.
Would you kindly? No.
Oh yeah, I remember.
This is when we learned that about a little bit more about Would You Kindly and its involvement with Jack.
Suchong,
And this is our only. This is a letter from Tenenbaum.
I know this. It is in your power to be a different man. What can Ryan take from us that we have not already sacrificed at the altar of discovery? Their children.
Tenenbaum always felt guilty about creating the little sisters, so that's kind of her major drive in the original game and in the second game.
The memories of what we have done fade only with the dimming of all lights.
I forgot to pay the electric bill.
Son of a bitch. Alright, let's go visit Sushong. Yeah. Look, our new buddies. Also, this next part's a recording from the original Bioshock as well. But we get to witness the recording.
Get away. Maybe if I modify the genetic sequence to allow for.
Oh, it's nice to see these things being in use.
Get away, you filthy little shit!
Oh, that's stupid.
What are you doing? Get back! Get back!
Maybe back up a little bit. Good job, buddy.
Sorry, I overreacted like that.
He had that Booker prompt from the last part of the game.
Give high five. That's what it was.
We found the ace in the hole. This is it. And it's conveniently cutting off the top and the bottom of the page.
And the picture.
All the pain and all of the death for
You know why I mentioned before you played this that you really need to catch up on your original Bioshock?
Yeah.
lore? You'll start to realize what this is about. So now we gotta head back and give away our only piece of leverage to Atlas. And look, there's the monkey wrench you get at the beginning of the game. Well, at least a reference to it.
Such a useful machine.
There they are.
Excuse me.
Do a little jig on my way over here. Loosen up the tension.
Do you have it?
I have it.
Do you have?
I'm keen to get this brat off me hands.
You know what? Andrew Ryan said I was a rube. But he was wrong.
Shows up on screen. No, I wasn't.
15 seconds.
We both know what happens next. Just get it over with.
Well, love, if you insist. What is this? It's just a bunch of gibberish. What does this say, you little whore? Hey! What does this say?
It says... Would you kindly...
We've got the activation phrase. Now all we've got to do is get that genetic freak of nature on an airplane, and Rapture's ours. Yeah!
I chose Rapture.
A man chooses. A slave obeys.
To save one life is to save the world entire. It is you who are very safe.
I can see all the doors. And what's behind all the doors. And behind one of them, incredibly, I see him.
Dans ses bras, elle me parle tout bas. Je vois la vie en rose. Il m'a dit des mots d'amour, des mots de tous les jours. Et ça me fait quelque chose.
Wow.
So do you guys have questions?
I think that wrapped everything up pretty well on its own.
As I mentioned, that this particular DLC, this particular episode, completely negates the ability of sequels to almost exist.
That makes pretty good sense.
So, as a little bit of explanation, it might be able to help a little bit. The events of what Elizabeth did throughout Rapture during episode 2 is what led to Jack being there. Like, her involvement is how Bioshock, the original game, even existed in the first place. Because unless she was there, the Big Daddy's never imprinted on the Little Sisters, and also Atlas never got the activation phrase. So the entirety of the original Bioshock was because of her interference in that world and being involved. She did it despite knowing that by going to that world she was going to die. But she knew that by doing that, eventually Sally would have been saved by Jack, because that's just how she saw the future and what was going to happen. She wasn't the one who's going to save her, it was going to be Jack. So, in a way of wrapping it up, all the Comstocks are dead, and all the Elizabeths are now officially dead. Doesn't mean that necessarily that part of her is dead. Anna might be still alive somewhere, but as Elizabeth as we know her, especially the one we traveled through the entire game of Bioshock Infinite with, is now dead.
Now, is Sally, like, was she based on a model from one of the Little Sisters you saw at the end of the first game?
Yeah, during the end cinematic, if you decide to do all the good endings with the little sisters, because if you played the original, when you got approached by a little sister, you could either choose to harvest them or to save them. If you save them, you got the ending that you saw where the bathysphere went to the surface. Also getting at a little behind the scenes of the song she sang in that radio, which is really great.
That name, Oliver Vacker's name is very close to Olivia's name. So you barely missed it, babe.
This song is actually a lot like this particular part of the DLC made me really sad.
Yeah.
Despite the positive what happened out of it, just to know this character we've been following through this entire game is dead now, and with a song like this to kind of close everything out, you're just like, oh, this is so sad.
Just remember when a dream appears, you belong to me.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You need to suck a little more. You don't sound like...
She's okay to do it this time, I think.
Fucking Bronco.
This really kind of tightened the package of the overall story, like a lot of the missing plot hole points of the original. Because of her omnipotence of being aware of everything, she basically tied up all loose ends. The killing of Booker didn't end the cycle was continuing. That's what we learned from this. What truly ended it was finally everything connecting with the original Bioshock by Elizabeth's interference. So this officially ended this time issue.
We have a name. Corby.
Corby?
Corby.
Sounds like Corgi.
I prefer Adam.
Yeah. Pee-wee King.
So Yoshi, opinion Yoshi?
Well, now I get why it's called Bioshock Infinite.
Yeah. Well, not anymore.
It makes sense. There's like, because playing through the whole game, I'm just like, what makes this a Bioshock game? What makes this a Bioshock game? Now I get it.
Is your opinion still fuck this game?
A little? Because it was like, well, all that was for nothing.
Oh, it was for something.
Because it just ended up being like, and that's what led to this, a prequel.
No, it's not necessarily as seen as a prequel bait, really.
Like a pre-sequel. There's a Borderlands is doing that, pre-sequel.
It's more like there's so many story elements that are kind of left ambiguous and kind of open that by doing this pretty much tied together both Infinite and the original Bioshock. But the interesting thing is it wasn't a completely separate connection. It wasn't like we thought before, where necessarily the Rapture world was a huge parallel to what Columbia was. It kind of is, but what really tied it together was in this case Booker and Elizabeth, especially Elizabeth. And it really took a lot of the story elements when it came to how time travel worked and a lot of the confusion of dimensional traveling and had it make a lot more sense. And also tied up in a way where it says, okay, you know, keeping in mind things like, okay, this might be Irrational's last big game, and they managed to tie up a story that they created after years is actually kind of awesome and a pretty good achievement by video games. Most people don't get that opportunity.
Yeah.
That's just sad. I don't want Elizabeth to die.
I guess what bothers me the most is that after all this, they just die.
Well, she was beaten by a wrench.
Yeah, but bye-bye, that's it. Just it was a good life.
Bye.
Well, to be fair, what we're going to assume was going to happen, at the beginning of that story, we kind of knew that it wasn't going to end well. She was trapped there. There was no way for her to escape. She didn't have her powers anymore. And she was aware that the person she was helping was either going to kill her or she was going to have to kill him. I suppose we could have killed him, but then the story would have been completely off place.
Well, then it is titled Burial at Sea, so...
Yep.
You know.
So it buried both.
But they never even showed Jack's face.
That's kind of the point.
I know, it's to keep it ambiguous because I didn't fucking show it in the first game, but it's like, oh, what is it? What is it? Nothing. Okay.
You know what I thought they were honestly gonna do, and I was gonna say fuck you? I thought he was gonna show his face, and it was Booker. And I was gonna say that, I was like, don't you do it. Don't you do it. Oh, thank God. Now, the only one that really kind of bothered me, I mean, I get it from the aspect of trying to show how you really don't have too much control over how the time works, was the scene with Daisy Fitzroy. She didn't need to have the Latusas get involved with that. I feel like it had more of an impact when she was kind of a evil bastard that needed to be killed. But now that we know she isn't, it's kind of a, oh.
Yeah, doesn't that kind of, I don't know what's the word. I don't think dampen is quite the right thing, but it sours the parallel between her and Comstock. However they started, however good their intentions were, it can always sour once things have gone in their favor.
Well, it tend to work more for the episode 1 of Burial at Sea, because of how much she became kind of cold and distant from them and basically tried to sacrifice a kid for her own revenge. That's something Comstock would do.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I think it also puts the Latusas in a very unfavorable light to me. Because to me, it feels like they just kind of manipulated everyone around them to follow this segment of events.
But then again, was that so that they could finally close up this cycle?
Possibly. The original reason they even brought Booker to that world in the first place is to really get revenge.
2K is team.
They love their English. Our solutions, big solutions.
Music available. Dun dun dun.
The only sad thing about that Elizabeth song is that you can only get it in an old-timey recording. I wanted to get like a clean recording, but you can't really. Oh wells. And to end it with this little part right here.
Her body sinks to the floor.
Oh shit, there is a shark. Oh, and it's the tail of the ship. So we know that Jack is in town and ready to save the world. But yeah, that wraps up Bioshock Infinite for us.
And Bioshock altogether, I guess.
Yep.
I mean, where can you go from there outside of just starting something new altogether?
You can play the old game System Shock, and System Shock 2, which I've heard great things about. And, you know, who knows? They might try to, you know, if they build up their team again or have a team like that, someone could always take license of that thing and work with a lot of the people that are on that team. Or Ken Levine will be like, hey, I feel like doing another one to make money.
Was Ken involved in System Shock?
Yeah. I mean, that was the kind of first of the Shock series, really. Shocks. Whatever. But that was their first foray in the games before they were necessarily Irrational Studios. But yeah, I listen, guys, and listen, audience. I know you guys are depressed, but we're playing a game next that's more depressing, so get used to it.
The Last of Us, coming soon from the Straw Hat No.
Get ready to listen to us lose our fucking minds.
You guys, that game is so funny.